A seaside vacation ended in tragedy for a 6-year-old boy and his mother. What otherworldly force took the child to the depths? Don't miss out. What the psychics will face will shake even those who never believed in mysticism. This is Psychic Investigations, a channel of exclusively astonishing stories from real life. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate incredible mystical anomalies and resonant criminal cases. Anna Shibska, from a small town near Kiev, hates summer and vacations. This started 3 years ago, after a seaside vacation that ended with the death of her only 6-year-old son, Ilya.
On the very first day after we arrived, Ilya wanted to swim. He was playing normally, splashing in the water near the shore. Then he suddenly disappeared.
About 5 minutes later, one of the vacationers accidentally bumped into his body underwater. He pulled him to the surface and brought him to shore on an inflatable mattress.
The boy's heart was not beating. At the hospital, they restarted it, but Ilya spent a year in a coma and then died.
It's not deep there. It's shallow. There were many people. Another thing I don't understand is why I didn't see anything. And there were people all around, but no one noticed. And then it turned out they found him 30 meters from the shore. I can't comprehend how he ended up so far from the shore.
What could have happened that in mere seconds, the boy ended up 30 meters from shore, unnoticed by anyone?
I don't know what happened that day. It was all very strange.
I'd like to know exactly why Ilya drowned. Was it on his own or did someone help him?
Recently, the family gained hope of learning what really happened.
I asked him to come to me in a dream and tell me the truth about what happened. A month and a half ago, Kayal appeared in my dream and said, "The boy Ilya asked me to tell you the truth about what happened to him."
It was the boy's aunt's dream that prompted the boy's mother to contact Azerbaijani psychic Kayal Alekperov.
A few months ago, an angel appeared to me in a dream. He showed me a little boy of 6 or 7 years old. I immediately realized he was no longer alive. He had died in the water. The child tried to tell me something, but I couldn't hear his voice. Yet I felt that soon his relatives would contact me for help.
Kayal Alekperov's assistant in the investigation will be British medium Anna Galliers.
I contacted you to find out what happened to my son.
I understand your grief and your feelings. This story is far more complicated than it might seem.
Everything is indeed strange. I suggest that we check the home. The boy's energy should still remain there.
Very warm energy comes from the toys. He must have loved them very much. This one I feel most of all.
Yes.
He loved water. He dreamed of the sea. The boy longed to go there.
Ilya dreamed about the trip for a year. He was obsessed with the sea.
He loved water terribly.
Poor boy. How could he know that the very sea that enchanted him would take his life?
I see the day the tragedy happened. You were on the beach for a long time and were about to leave but lingered for some reason.
Anna and her son came to the beach around 9 a.m. After noon, when the sun grew hot, she decided to return to the hotel.
I said, 2 more minutes and we're leaving. He replied, just 1 more plunge. Then he went into the water and vanished from sight.
Then I see panic and scared screams. A man pulls the boy from the water. You look at him and don't recognize him.
That was no longer Ilya. It was just a blue body with blue lips.
I sensed something was lost. An object.
The last time Ilya was seen alive, he was playing in the water. He had a swim ring and a diving mask. When he was pulled from the water, neither was on him. The ring later washed ashore, but the mask was never found.
There are many people around, and 2 among them do everything possible to help him.
A former doctor happened to be on the beach when Ilya was carried out. He was the first to run up and begin resuscitation. There was also another man, Sasha. His car was parked nearby. They carried Ilya in their arms, put him in the car, and rushed him to the medical station.
I see the boy in the hospital. His eyes are closed. He's not dead, but he's not alive either.
He suffered severe brain hypoxia. The death of gray nerve cells in the brain prevented him from regaining consciousness. It was a state of chronic coma.
For several months after the accident, the boy remained in the hospital. The last half year at home.
The treatment gave no results. All the doctors admitted, "We simply don't know how to help you. Go home."
He couldn't breathe or swallow on his own. He constantly needed a masseur's help. He had no consciousness. It was a terrible condition. In his last days, he had convulsions, and his whole body seized. The masseuse came but couldn't help. Then his heart stopped.
I feel terrible pain in the leg. It seems the boy had some injury, and he got it in the water.
On his left leg. It was a large spot of about 25 centimeters in diameter and purple in color. It took a very long time to heal.
I sensed something grabbed his leg and pulled him down.
What could have dragged him in the water?
I feel it was not a human, but an animal.
Something like a fish, but not a shark.
The creature is somewhat like a snake. It's dangerous to humans. It's poisonous.
Doctors said the wound resembled a stingray burn.
The stingray, it inhabits the Atlantic Ocean, as well as the Mediterranean, Azov, and Black Seas. Nature armed it with a terrible weapon, 1 or more sharp spines at the tip of its half-meter tail. With the spike, a stingray can even pierce the bottom of a rubber boat. But the danger is not only in the wound. During its attack, the stingray also injects venom into the victim's body. And the venom instantly affects the cardiovascular system.
Most likely it happened like this. The boy was swimming and stepped on or touched a stingray that came too close. From the sting and sudden pain, he panicked, perhaps swallowed water, fainted, and drowned. Then the current carried him 30 meters away from shore, where he was later found.
There is some mysticism here. I feel that even if the stingray hadn't struck him, he would have died from something else.
When your son first came into this world, something already threatened him. Did the labor go hard?
Ilya was born by cesarean section.
The woman has vision problems. Her one eye is a prosthesis. In such cases, doctors oppose natural childbirth. As such, Anna had a cesarean.
I'd like to summon the boy's spirit and learn the true cause of his death. For this, I need to go outside and perform a ritual.
I see a place with many children all playing and laughing. Your son enjoys it very much. Perhaps it's a playground or amusement park.
There's a playground not far from home. He spent a lot of time there.
Could you take me there? The boy's father left you, didn't he?
We lived together for about 4 years. Then problems began, and he found a mistress.
The father left the family when the boy was only 4. He started another family, where another child was born.
I see another situation when your son nearly died. It's connected with fire or something hot.
This happened when Ilya was only 1.5 years old.
There was a pan of hot water on the stove. He took that thing you mash potatoes with, hooked it on the edge, and tipped it over himself. It was a burn.
The child spent almost a month in the capital's burn center.
Almost half his body was burned. He needed skin grafts.
Poor child. So much pain and suffering for such a short life. Death seemed to follow him step by step. But why?
I feel you had a premonition. Even though your son begged you to go to the sea, you didn't want to. You saw bad signs.
2 weeks before we left, an icon fell and shattered.
I begged her until the last moment not to go.
A few months before we left, I dreamed I was burying Ilya. I saw him dead, lying in a coffin.
I see a strange object and feel very bad energy from it. Did you ever find anything suspicious at home?
When we dug up the yard, we found some bones.
I see a woman. She wished harm to you and your son. Could it be your husband's mistress? She wanted to separate you, but it wasn't easy. There was strong love between you.
He was kind and sociable. He loved his family so much.
And he adored his son.
He loved his wife and his child. He cherished them.
I see that when tragedy struck Ilya, it was a bad shock for his father.
He didn't eat or sleep for 3 days. I think he felt guilty, thinking that maybe he was to blame because he left the family.
He worried and suffered so deeply, there was a black hole in his soul. He couldn't bear the grief and died.
6 months after the stingray struck the boy, his father died. He lived only 1.5 years with his new wife.
They took him to the hospital. He stayed there 2 weeks and died of sarcoma.
I feel the deaths of father and son are somehow connected. I need to consult Kayal.
Anna, I summoned the boy's spirit, but he didn't come alone. His father's spirit was with him. I think they were close in life.
Ilya was very attached to his father. His dad was everything to him. He always followed him everywhere.
This house bears a lot of bad energy. The deaths of your son and his father are connected to this place. Tell me, have there been other male deaths in this house?
I don't know.
Let's go to the other half of the house and ask.
The house is divided between 2 families. The psychics are lucky to find Anna's neighbor, Shura, at home.
Aunt Shura, are you home?
Yes, please come in.
I sense that men don't survive in this house. I see 2 deaths after you moved in here. Did 2 sons of yours die?
My eldest son, Yuri, was found hanged at the dacha. Then my younger son, Denis, died. He fell ill and was bedridden for 2 years before he died.
This woman moved into the house with her sons 6 years ago. 2 years later, Yuri hanged himself after a quarrel with his girlfriend. He was 28. 2 years later, her younger son, Denis, died of lung cancer at 22. And 2 years after that, little Ilya perished. Could this house truly be claiming the lives of men?
Tell me, have you ever found strange objects in your property? Like something used to curse?
When we dug the garden, we found many buried bones.
Bones again. The woman found the same kind of black magic items as her neighbor. But what does it mean?
I'd like to walk along the street to see where this negativity comes from. Anna, I found the place.
The energy here is heavy, and there used to be a house here, but something happened to it. I see flames. Did it burn down?
There used to be a house that burned here.
It happened 2 years ago. At the time of the fire, no one lived in the house anymore.
An elderly man used to live here. He was alone and kept animals.
According to the locals, an old man really did live in the house that once stood here.
About 20 years ago, he settled here and started a pig farm. He kept them right in his yard. He had 50 or 60 pigs.
I see many metal objects in his yard.
He hauled in all sorts of scrap metal from everywhere. And sometimes thieves would climb into the yard from above to steal something. The man did something terrible in his life.
I see a young man who entered his yard without permission. Did the owner kill him?
The young man climbed into his yard, trying to steal some metal. The owner crept up quietly from behind with a sickle and slit his throat.
What he did next is horrifying. He cut the body into small pieces, boiled them and fed them to the pigs.
He dismembered the body, threw it into a large barrel, boiled it, and poured it out for the pigs to eat. And the remains, the head and limbs, he first put in a sack and buried in his yard. Later, trying to frighten others so no one would walk down this street, he scattered the bones along the road.
So those were the bones Anna found in her yard.
One man went for a walk and saw a human foot and hand in the roadside grass. He immediately reported it to the police. They identified the victim. It was a 24-year-old local man who had gone missing. The killer was quickly found.
A chilling revelation. The old man murdered, dismembered, and fed a human body to pigs.
I sense he was forced to commit the murder by a woman.
She was a witch and lived in the house before the old man.
Yes, there was an old woman. The neighbors said she looked exactly like a witch. They even nicknamed her the Hag, but she died.
Before her death, the woman placed protection on her house against thieves so no one could ever rob her. She was very afraid of theft.
Because once she had already been robbed and lost everything she had. And the man who robbed her lived in your house.
Mikola, who lived where Anna and Shura now live, robbed that old woman. Her name was Polina. After that, Mikola was imprisoned for 15 years.
That man left her without means to survive. She wandered the village begging for bread. She even came to your house, but no one helped her. Then she cursed the thief, his house, and all the men who would live there.
Her resentment lasted even after death. The force of those emotions remains in the curse, which still holds.
Twice before Yuri and Denise died, the old woman came to me in dreams asking for bread. And after I buried Denise, she came again, asking for something. Then 2 young women stood at the gate and said, "She has already given everything. She has nothing left to ask for. Go further down the street."
And you directed her away from me?
She walked down the street toward the playground.
You must sincerely ask for the woman's forgiveness on behalf of all who wronged her.
Then invite a priest to bless this place and your house, and afterward pray much for the repose of her soul.
It turns out, these women's children had to pay for the sin committed years ago by a man they never even knew, simply because they lived in this cursed house.
Thanks to the psychics, I now understand that my child's fate couldn't have been changed.